Kia ora koutou, nau mai haere mai ki te wānanga o Raku Raku. Welcome to another guitar lesson with Pūtātara Music, providing accessible music education to Waiata Māori right here on our social media platforms. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of content up there. We've got more to come as well. If you've got kōrero to contribute to some of these waiatas, please feel free to put those into the comment section, as it's good to get an enlightening different whakaaro, or if you've heard a different version, or you know some other stuff that I may not know, please feel free to share that in the comment section. Just please make sure that we make it respectable. Cool. Now, also with these things, everything is timestamped, so if you just want to go straight to the lesson, or if you want to go straight to the jam track right at the end, feel free to do that. All the timestamps are in the description as well. There's going to be a link to a music score sheet courtesy of Aotearoa Songbook. Ngā mihi nui to them for this resource. It is something that is helpful to help teach these things, as well as to get a little bit of insight to this. We're going to cover the song Pō Atarau, which is a old waiata made during World War One, or just prior to World War One, when the soldiers went off to war with the Māori Pioneer Battalion, I think it was for that one, as the Māori Battalion that we all know comes later in World War Two. But this was done as a farewell to them, inspired by another Swiss piano composition as well. This is the hour is also what that's called. Cool. So we've got all of this, all of that. And it is written by Maiwa Kaiho. I think there is also a name prior to the Maiwa, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly too. Aroha mai if I'm not. But yes, it's done by this queer from up north in the Ngāpuhi region of the North Island of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And as I said, all about lamenting the grief of someone going away. I've mainly heard this song at tangihanga, or just at a farewell. So that's what this song is. Let's get into it now. Tahirua Torewha, Timatanga. Alright, ka pai team. Now, this song Pō Atarau, it's in the key of G. And I'm going to be doing this all with bar chords, so you might want to stretch the hand out a little bit if you're not quite used to playing some bar chords. But hoia te waka, kia kaha, be strong, just keep going at it, keep it consistent, and it's a good way to develop the hand strength and the stamina within your hands. And so it's all good to get the practice in for this. This is in a 3/4 timing, so it's not in a straight 4/4 or just a common time 4/4, it's in a 3/4. Pepeha by 660 is in a 6/8, which is just double this timing, but pretty much the same kind of vibe. Also, E Papa is in a 3/4 timing if you're doing Rako game. That's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that's what this timing is. Now we're going to start off with the key of G. So here is our G chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that is just a basic 3/4 strum pattern right there. But I'm going to start with that G chord, so we're going to go with the bar across the 3rd fret. Bar right across the 3rd fret there with our 1st finger. And then we're going to put our 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the G string, or the 3rd string. Our 3rd finger is going to go on the 5th fret of the A string, or the 5th string. And right below that, our pinky is going to go on to the 5th fret of the D string, or the 4th string. And we're going to strum all 6 strings, as it's a 6-string major chord. And you should have nice clean notes all the way through. Now, if you are getting some buzzers and not so great sounding notes coming through with your bar chord, all that you just need to do is just adjust your hand position to make sure that you are covering all the notes. Cool. Now, for the intro, it's just 2 bars of the 3/4, so you got to do 6 counts of the G. So we're going to go like this here. Alright, so that's just the basic one, a basic strum pattern there. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I've gone from the first, from the intro into the first verse there, and that's the whole first verse. Now for this, that was a basic strum pattern that I just did, but on the recording with the jam track, I've added in a couple of ghost notes between the counts of the 1 and the 2, and the 2 and the 3. So it's on the ands of the count. So I'm going to show you how to do that rhythm, and the rhythm for the recorded version on the jam track, which is like this here. Cool, so what we're actually doing is, this is kind of a trick between the left hand and the right hand. So with my left hand, I'm only barring on really the 1, the 2, and the 3. And then I'm letting go, and when I mean letting go, I don't mean letting go like this. I'm just lifting my fingers off but holding it here, so that way you get this sound. And that's to provide the ghost notes on the ends. So what we're doing is we're going... So I'm going to let you see it from this side here. Now if you look at my hand, I'm going to be going, pushing down and then just letting go. Right? 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so you'll see me push down and then let go. But this hand is still pretty much keeping, my right hand is still pretty much keeping consistent. So what that does is it helps to choke the notes to get more of a staccato type of playing. And staccato just means that you cut off the notes. You don't elongate them, you don't hold them. If I was to just hold them, it would sound like this. Right? Doesn't really sound as good as... That just takes a little bit of practice. As what I said, it's a down, up, and then it's a bit of a mute, and then you're going 2 down strums. 2 down strums that are accented, and you're lifting off in between the 2 and the 3, and then getting another up and down. So you're getting that kind of sound. It's great for reggae if you're doing kind of like the... Right, that kind of sound. So for our chords, we're going to go with a G chord. And then we're going to move into the verse. So for a verse, we're going to play G for 1 time round. So that's 3 counts on G. Then we're going to go to C for 1 count. For 1 bar. So three counts. Then we're going to go to G for 3 bars. So that's going to be 9 counts. And then we go to a D. So we're going to the 5 for 1 bar, so that's 3 counts. Then we're going to a G for 3 counts, to a G7 for 3 counts, and then we're going to C minor, so we're going from a major 4th to a minor 4th, usually used at the end of songs. Then a G, then we're going to an E minor, the relative, and then we're going to the 2, the minor 2, which is an A minor. We're going to do that for two bars around, so that's 6 counts, and then we're going to go back to D, and then we're going to sharpen it to a D sharp. Okay, so what we're going to be doing there is we're going to start with a G. So the cool. So I went to the C, which is just we're going to use the 5th string bar chord for this, and we're going to do that on the 3rd fret, and then we're going to have our bar with our 2nd bar on the 5th fret. So we're going to only bar the high E string through to the A string, or the 1 through to 5 string, and we're going to mute this top one, this low E, and that's because you don't want it to be ringing out, and we're not playing an inversion of C, so we're not. we are just playing a straight C chord. And then you can play it like this here, like an A shape C, but I'm just going to bar with my third finger, and we're barring the D, the G, and the B string here. So you should be getting, right? Ooh, that's a little bit rough there. There we go, that's a bit better. Cool, and that is our C chord. Cool, so we're going just from the start of the verse, 1, 2, 3, back to G. Cool. So then we go from the C to playing G for three bars, so it's 9 counts, and then we go to a D chord, which is just that same C chord, but you're going to move it up 2 frets. Okay, so now we're on the 5th fret with our first bar of our first finger, and then we're going to be barring with our third finger across the D, the G, and the B string, or the 4th, the 3rd, and the 2nd string, and we're going to be doing that on the 7th fret. Alright, we got a D chord. Cool, so just from the start of the verse again, so we're going G7. Cool. Now with the G7, that's an extension chord and it's a dominant 7, so what we're doing is we're introducing an F. It's not an F sharp, it's an F because we want to flatten the 7th note of the major scale with G. So that just means that this note here with our pinky is the 1 chord in the octave, and so that's or the 1 note in the octave, and that just means that that's a G. So we just take that pinky off, and now we're exposing this note here with our bar, which is an F note. So you get that. Right. So this is what a G major sounds like. And then when we take the pinky off and we expose this F note right here, it becomes a G7 or G dominant 7, but we only usually just say G7. So you play that for one bar, and that's 3 counts. And then we're going to be going to the 4 chord, so we're going to go back to the C, and we're going to do what we call a 4 major, 4 minor, which is just this here. So that's the regular C major that we just played before. But now we're also going to add, we're going to go down for one bar, and then play the C minor. Now this is really nice at the end of songs when you resolve to a finish, and it's just because what it does is it takes the I guess the 3rd of the 4th chord, and then you flatten it to make it a minor chord, and then when you come back to the 1 chord, you're adding in, or you end up playing a 5th, the perfect 5th of the home chord. So that's why it kind of sounds nice when it flourishes, is what I call it. That there, it's got a beautiful flourish to it. So yeah, so just food for thought there. But what we're going to do is we're going to be playing that C and then a C minor. So what we've got is we're going to be playing like an A minor shape here. So we're still playing the bar on the 3rd fret of the guitar from the high E through to the A, so from the 1 through to the 5 string. And then we're going to play, our 2nd finger is going to go on the 4th fret of the B string. Our 3rd finger is going to be on the 5th fret of the D string, and then our 4th finger, our pinky, just goes below that on the 5th fret of the G, or the 3rd string. That's what you get there. Okay, and so remember this shape here. That C minor bar chord, as that's our note C, because we're going to be using it for the E minor as well. Okay, so from the top of the verse, we're going to go from G. So 1, 2, 3. Cool. So then out of that C minor, we are resolving back to G. So we're going back to the home chord, the one chord. And then we're going to go up to an E minor. Now we're going to take that C minor shape that we had, and we're going to be using the 7th fret with where our bar is. And that's because this note here on the A string, which is the root note of this chord, because it's 5 string, which is the 5th string, right? Because that's an A, and you count the strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or tahirua, toru, rima. Okay, ka pai. And then we are just going to place our hands, our fingers, just like how we did with that C minor, but this time it's going to be up on the 7th fret as the bar. The 8th fret is where it is on with our second finger on the B string, or the 2nd string, and the 9th fret on the D string of, the 9th fret of the D string, and then just below that we're going to put our pinky or our 4th finger on the 9th fret of the G, or the 3rd string there. Remember, not playing that low E. And that's an E minor, and that's because this note here on the 5th string of the 7th fret is an E. There we go. And then we're going to come back, and then we're going to be playing a 6th string minor chord in bar chord form, which is going to be on the 5th fret, and that's going to be our A minor. Okay, so we're going to be barring across the 5th fret of the guitar, and then just like we're playing the G major, but up on the 5th fret, so it will be A technically. We're going to flatten the 3rd note, which is this note here, on our 2nd finger. We're just going to take that off, and that now, because we flatten it, it becomes minor. It becomes sad. So there is our minor chord. And this is what it sounds like when it's a major chord. Very happy. Very dark and gloomy when it's minor. Okay, and that's how you play an A minor. So it's barring across the 5th fret of the guitar. So we're going to be doing all 6 strings. Then it's the 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the A string, playing the E note, which is the 5th, and then we're going to be playing an octave A right underneath that. And then you take your finger off and just bar the rest. And that's our A minor. Ka pai. And so we play A minor for 2 counts, so that's 6 for 2 bars, so that's 6 counts. And then we're going to go to D, which is just like our C chord, but we're going to move it up just 2 frets, right? So we've already played D. And then when it goes to the Ma, it does a D sharp. Alright, and all you're going to be doing is, because you've got to sharpen it, you've just got to move it up 1. So we'll move it up a half a step, which is just 1 fret. And so you're playing the same chord, but you're just moving it up one fret. So you should be on the 6th fret with your bar, 5th string bar chord, remember, and then with your 3rd finger bar, that should be on the 8th fret. Ka pai. Alright, so right across with the 5th string from the 1st to the 5th string, and then you're barring your 3rd with your 3rd finger across the D, the G, and the B. So when we go around, it's going to come back down into verse 2. And verse 2 is very similar to the first verse. There's only a slight change in the second half. So for the first little part, it's the so it's the G, to C, to G. Remember, this is for 3 bars. So the second bar, to D, to G, to G7. And now we're going to go to that 4, to the C, to the minor, to the G, to the E minor, now to A minor, now D, and then back to G. Then it just goes back around up into the first verse. So it's just that last little bit, instead of going from G, E minor, A minor, A minor, D, and then D sharp, you're going G, E minor, A minor, D, and then you're playing G twice. And that's like as if you're playing the intro again, because then the song just starts again from the top of the verse 1. Now as you come down, back through for the second time, so you're going to play verse 1 through to verse 2, you should be going to the outro on the second time round. And all that's doing is it's just doing the last part of the second verse twice. So you're going from we'll go from the C to the C minor, okay, as if we've already gone through it twice. So this is the second time round on the song, and we're going to go to the outro. So it's going to go Now on that last part of the outro there, I'm only just playing the G once through, and then I'm just hitting one final strum for that last bar, and then that should be it. It should be finishing out, and we should be all good. That's the whole song. So just from learning the first verse and then just learning what the adjustments are in the second verse, you've got the whole song down, and you can now sing this at a tangi or a farewell for one of your loved ones. Ka pai. So have a go with the jam track on that one. Kia kaha, be strong. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We are done for another lesson here with Pūtātara, making accessible education. As what I said, subscribe. Everyone welcome on this journey, on this hairina. And if you've got any other pātai, feel free to put those into the comment section. Also, if you've got a request for a waiata, feel free to put that in there as well. Keeping in mind, I must be able to hear it or find a resource for me to be able to learn the waiata if I don't know it. There are more waiata out there than what I do know myself. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next lesson. Kia maumahara, lest we forget as we celebrate or remember those who gave their lives for what we have in the name of freedom. Ka pai whānau, kia kaha, kia maia, kia manawa nui, nui te aroha, char. Tahi, rua, toru.